What's up, guys? It's Jay, MorninAfterKill, and if you've been around my channel for quite some time, I'm fairly certain that you've come across a series of mine called The Road to 30. If not, it's basically my entire life story, and each episode chronicles 1 year of my life, and we go ahead and talk about the significant events and memories that have come to shape the person that I am today. Sadly, that series has ended because I'm 35 fucking years old, man. The road to 30 has been lived. The story has been told. However, I do have a spin-off series called Road to 30, Life After 30, where I pretty much keep you guys up to date with what's going on in my life currently. And that's where we're sitting here today, March 1st. 2018. Fuck, it feels good to be out of February. God damn. Those of you guys that's been around for a while, you know that February is a really hard month for me. Specifically for the fact that 11 years ago, I was engaged to be married to a beautiful woman. Circumstances occurred, and she ended up taking her own life in late February 2007. God damn, time is flying. And it doesn't help, though, that her birthday was also in late January. So I pretty much get a month-long reminder every year, every February, for the rest of my life, that I wasn't good enough of a person for her to want to live with or even live for. And even though I've been with my current girlfriend now for 10 years, and I'm very much in love with my girlfriend, don't get me wrong, it's still hard to have that dark cloud hanging over your head for the rest of your life. And as much as I've dealt with it, I've put it in perspective and I've made peace with it, it still don't make things any easier around this time. Goddamn show. Especially after the clusterfuckery from this entire holiday season. Once again, if you've been following along with my Road to 30, Life After 30 updates, then you're probably already aware of the fact that before my mother died, like significantly well before my mother died, like probably 10 years ago or so, my mother told me and my brother that my biological father was dead, which wasn't really that big of a deal because I never knew the motherfucker growing up anyway. So it's like, okay, no big deal. Well, it was actually like last year that I was just chilling and I was bored as fuck at like 4 a.m. and I'm just searching around Facebook for people that I might know or people that I knew growing up and, just seeing if their profiles were public and kind of catching up to what they were doing in their life without them actually knowing. It's kind of like looking at a high school yearbook, but one that shows the future of where everybody you knew ended up in life. It's something I like to do when I'm fucking bored. And I just, by happenstance, just came across my father's Facebook profile, which is pretty fucking weird, right? Because he's supposed to be dead well long before Facebook would have become popular enough for a 50-year-old dude to finally make a profile, which he did last year, finally make a profile. And I'm sitting there, I stared at it, and it kind of fucked me up for a minute. Not just because my dad kind of looks like Hitler. I'm not even joking. I don't know why, but he does. He kind of looks like an old Hitler. But also because all types of shit started going through my head when I saw it. I mean, you gotta look at it like this. My mom's dead. I'm estranged from the rest of my family for like the last 20-some years. My friend's mom, the one who took me in when I was a teenager, she also recently has died within the last year and a half or so. So instantly, I went from being a person who's made peace with having no family left to sitting there staring at a computer screen and having a biological father for the first time in my life. Needless to say, it's something that I wasn't prepared to deal with myself, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna let that shit go. That is until a few months later, when I was talking to my brother, I made the mistake of mentioning it, and without even talking it over with me or my sister, the asshole decides to jump off the deep end and go and contact him, which threw everyone's life involved into a whirlwind. And I know there's a few of you guys that are coming out there saying like, fuck, Mac, get to the point of the story, but I have to reiterate this part of the story and give you guys a little refresher, a little bit of a background about me, my family, and my relationship with my brother, or else I'm probably gonna come off as a giant fucking douchebag in this story. But yeah, time and time again, my brother has just shown sociopathic levels of selfishness and disregard for pretty much everyone around him. Even more so than I do myself, which probably made the decision to fuck my brother over just a little bit easier for me. So, after my mom died, my family came to her house to clean it out. Yeah. You guys, if you ever had a sudden death in a family, you know what it means to go to a house and clean it out. Yeah, I'm doing the quotation marks with my fingers because clean it out, they did of all the good shit. Literally, she wasn't even dead for 24 hours before my family showed up at her front door and took everything valuable out of the house. Even my cousin, who moved to Colorado, got on a red-eye flight and got to her house before me, and I only live 45 minutes away from my mom. and I get there, and shit's just gone, right? And I know they were lying about taking all the jewelry and crystal figurines out of the cabinet. You know, they said my mom, you know, who did die of a drug overdose, and she was really hooked on opiates and Percocet type of, you know, painkillers. They said that she sold everything for drugs before she died. However, I could literally see clean rings of dust where things were recently lifted and taken off the shelves. But they had a plausible story, and I really couldn't do shit about it. But the one thing that they couldn't do shit about was the house that my mom currently held in ownership. It also happened to be the house that my mom snaked from my grandpa before he died, which my family was not happy about. And that house was now left to me and my brother as the next of kin. And when I mean that my mom snaked this house, I mean she snaked the shit out of it. While my grandpa was sick, she got him to sign the house over to her for $1 on the deed. And like I said, the rest of my mom's brothers and sisters were not very happy about that situation, which is pretty much why they all showed up and robbed my mom's house when they died. But I digress. The house is the important part because it was left to me and my brother. The problem is that the house wasn't really worth shit. I mean, in perfect, pristine condition, this house would have been worth a couple $100,000. But in the condition that my mom left it in, it was almost like a squatter's house, like a trap house. I mean, it was covered in cat fur and dander, and I mean like 2 inches of fur were just covering everything in the house. There was no heat in the house. The basement foundation had a crack in it, and it would fill up with water when it rained. The upstairs toilet must have broken at some point because I mean, when we went to clean out the house, it was absolutely gross. She was shitting in the tub for what had to have been at least a few months of just caked up large amounts of dookie. And that sitting in the tub for months caused all types of water and ceiling damage to the house downstairs. The backyard itself looked like George of the Jungle lived the fuck back there. Nothing was maintained for at least over a year or two in this house. It's almost like she went batshit crazy and was living like a homeless person in a trap house. And to make matters worse, she took out all types of loans against the house and hadn't paid taxes on it in years, which means that the house wasn't worth shit because it would need to be gutted to be livable, and it was only worth the land it was sitting on, which, you know, I did my homework. I went to the county, I looked it up, and I checked out to see how much this plot of land was worth, and it was worth about $80,000. Considering that the loans and taxes on the house piled up to be over $50,000, it made very little sense for me to put out the money to pay the taxes, secure the house, and try to flip it for somewhere around $25,000 profit. And then, when you take out the lawyers and county fees involved, you're going to be left with, you know, just around like $18,000 to $20,000 left to split between me and my brother. I'm sorry, I'm not spending almost $60,000 out of my own pocket to take home somewhere around $10,000 at max. Without an investor to buy this house, it's just not worth my time, effort, or stress to get involved. I mean, let's look at it. I already own my own house, I run 2 businesses, and my girlfriend makes pretty decent money too. Not really hurting for $10,000. Would it be nice? Yes. Am I gonna risk $60,000 for 10 grand? Fuck no. Also, putting in hundreds of hours out of my time for just 10 grand just didn't seem like it was worth it to me. Especially when, like I said, I can easily just go and buy a few cars, flip them, and make 10 grand in a couple months with very minimum effort involved if I really needed the money that bad. My brother, on the other hand, you know, he's had a little bit more of a rough go of it in life, and, you know, he decided that this time he was gonna step up and he was gonna take care of it because the money was worth it to him. So I said, you know what? Fuck it, man. Go ahead, do it. I want nothing to do with this process at all. Let's be real though. At the time, I didn't think that my brother was actually gonna go through with it. I mean, he's a dude that says that he's gonna do all types of shit and just never really actually does it. I mean, he said he was gonna come to my aunt's funeral, never did. Said the same thing about my grandpa's funeral, never did. My mother's funeral? Nope. He couldn't actually be asked to show up for my mom's funeral, but the minute that there's money there for him to collect, he's there. In fact, he showed up to go through my mom's house and belongings with my family within 24 hours of her death too, but somehow 3 days later he couldn't find a ride up to attend her funeral. Like I said before, the dude displays severe sociopathic levels of selfishness, especially when there's money involved. But sure enough though, the motherfucker, he came through. He found someone dumb enough to buy the house from him for $100,000. Sight unseen too. Where he found somebody to come up with $100 grand to buy a house that he never even seen in his life, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. But sometime in December of 2017, I received a letter from my brother's lawyer saying that I was entitled to $20,000 of the $45,000 profit. And I had 30 days to respond whether or not I wanted to collect my money or defer it to my brother like I originally had planned. And this was actually a harder decision to make than it should have been. I mean, I hated my mother, right? And I wanted nothing, absolutely nothing to do with her or her estate after she died. I wanted to get away from it. I wanted to bury that part of my life and just move on. Like I said, I originally planned to let my brother take the entire half of the profits because I wanted nothing to do with it this badly. Let's be honest though, that 20 grand could have really done a lot for getting my brother's life on track, but then all that bullshit happened with my father, and I asked him to hold off on contacting him so me, my brother, and my sister, we can get together to, discuss a course of action on how to contact our father or whether or not we actually wanted to. But we all know how that turned out. The motherfucker jumped the gun without asking, and shit hit the fan. And after that, I sat down to think about it. I really did. I put a lot of time into just racking my brain about it. I was like, yeah, my mother, she was pretty shitty to my brother, right? But him getting locked up wasn't her fault. In fact, he wasn't even living with me and my mother when that bullshit happened. So he didn't have to spend the last 20 years that I've spent of my life dealing with her abuse, dealing with the family's bullshit of her sneaking the house. Like, everything my mother did in life fell onto me at every family gathering, every funeral, everything just all came down on my shoulders because of my mother. And now, when I ask my brother, I asked the motherfucker for one favor, one fucking time in his life to not be selfish and let us all figure this shit out together. He couldn't, man. He just couldn't back off. So I said, fuck it, man. I went to my lawyer. I had all the paperwork looked over. And I went through all the county bullshit with the registrar and the taxes and I had an informal accountant done on everything on the house. And when I realized that everything was 100% clean and clear, all the liens, all the loans, all the taxes were 100% clean and clear to sign off, I did. I signed and I took $20,000 profit from my brother. And you know what? Even though he did all the legwork and he put in all the time and effort, and I told him that he could have the money, I wanted nothing to do with it. I figured, I took the 20 grand as payment for all the abuse that woman put me through. I took the 20 grand as payment for my childhood that woman took from me. But most importantly, I took that 20 grand. I took that shit for myself. And as someone who usually puts other people before I do for myself, after I looked at it and I came to the conclusion that this is one time in life that I deserve to be selfish for myself. And I took $20,000 worth of profit from my brother. So, my name is Jay, MorninAfterKill. I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys rate, comment, subscribe. If you want to leave a thumbs up on a video, I'd highly appreciate it because it gives me motivation to make more videos for y'all motherfuckers that watch my motherfucking videos. But I want to let you guys know, a lot of the bullshit that's been going on like the last month and a half. Why I haven't really been as active as I could have been, especially on Twitch and on YouTube. Things have been a little bit light around here, but we're gonna try to get back on track for you guys, and just want to let you guys know that things were a little fucked up around here for the last few months, but I want to let you guys know why. And this is why. It wasn't an easy decision. Trust me, it should have been an easy decision. I should have just been like, yo, fuck it, take the money and run. But it really wasn't an easy decision. But it's a decision that I felt that I had to make. It's a decision that I felt that allowed me to move on from this and put it in my past. I hope there's no hard feelings between me and my brother over... I'm pretty sure he's pretty fucking salty about it, though. But my name's Jay, MorninAfterKill. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna see y'all motherfuckers later.